Hello, and thank you for joining us for this Docutrack training session. This session will cover the use of the tablet by the technicians in the shop. The tablet you receive will come pre-provisioned with the Docutrack app already installed on the tablet, the user manual for the tablet, the user manual for the Docutrack website, and our support site as well. By selecting the internet, it will open up the Docutrack support website as well. To open the Docutrack app, just select the icon. The Docutrack program will automatically load. Enter your username, which is your email address. Enter your password. Once the password is selected, check Login. Upon the first login, the tablet will ask you for the location of the tablet. If you have multiple stores, you would select the store that this tablet is located at and select Continue. The tablet will now sync all data to the website, making sure that the latest information has been updated to the tablet. The tablet will open to a warning. Please read and select I agree. This will take you to the Docutrack dashboard. The Docutrack dashboard walks you through every step in the process, and it follows the flow of a job through your dealership. At the top, you have the capability of looking up the vehicle by VIN, a couple different ways. We'll cover that in a second. It then allows you to document the condition of the vehicle when it came in. This comes in very handy for those times when a customer comes back and says, hey, you put a dent in my door. This allows you to document that up front to show exactly the condition of the vehicle and provide that to the customer up front. It allows you to weigh the vehicle prior to the installation. Once the installation process is done, it allows you to document that installation. It allows you to continue that secondary inspection. And at that point, the job would be complete. So we're going to walk through this process step by step, starting with the lookup by the VIN. There's a couple different ways to use the VIN lookup. One is by selecting in the box. You can start typing any part of the VIN. You do not need the entire VIN. If you just start typing a part of that, the first part, last part, and hit the search button, Docutrack will look for all vehicles with those numbers in the VIN. In this case, there's a couple. You can then select the job that you want, and it takes you directly to that job. If there was only one vehicle that had that number in it, when you selected that number, it will take you directly to that job. The second way to pull up the VIN is using the VIN scanner. By selecting the camera icon, it will open up the VIN scanner. You can then scan the VIN number from the door jamb of the vehicle. It'll find that VIN and it'll pull up that job, and you're ready to begin the installation. Other ways of pulling up a job are through the process that you're looking to perform. So for instance, when a vehicle first comes in, this gives you the capability to inspect that vehicle and document the condition of that vehicle. By selecting inside that box, it will pull up all vehicles that are ready for inspection. Select the customer that you want to inspect, and it opens up that job. This opens up several different opportunities to take pictures of the vehicle, and we've listed those out in there. You also have the capability to take pictures beyond that. So the way this works is you would select whichever one you want to take the picture of. Let's take the front exterior. Just click inside that area. Take the picture. If you like that, you can keep it, or you can click retry and take another picture. Select OK. It now stores that picture in that field, turns that section green, and allows you to move on to the next one. If you ever wanted to undo that, hit the undo button. It eliminates that picture, and it allows you again to take another picture. Select the picture. Select OK. And that picture is now stored again, and that section is again turned green. So you'd go on to the next one, take additional picture, and continue on. Now I'm not going to complete all of these, but I think you get the gist of how this would work. These are all optional. They're not required. You can take whatever pictures you feel are important to document the condition of that vehicle. If you didn't want to do any of this, again, this whole section is optional. It also gives the opportunity to take additional photos that may not be listed on here. For instance, if you notice a burn mark on a driver's seat and you want to document that up front, you can add that as a photo to this process. If you do, you'd select the photo, Click inside and type in what you want to enter with that. So you can just select burn mark. Now there's an easier way to do this as well. Next to the space bar at the bottom, there's a key with a microphone. If you do not see the microphone, this is a programmable key. It allows you to push and hold that key, and it'll bring up some different options that you can program into that key. We're going to select the microphone. Instead of having to type each time, you can select the microphone and speak into the system. Burn mark on driver's seat. Select complete. It now gives us an entry to take a picture of that burn mark on the driver's seat. I click on that entry, I take the picture, and now I can store that in with that documentation. We highly recommend you use this to also take photos of existing mobility equipment that you may not be installing on the vehicle. In our risk management reviews, we found that there are situations where a customer brings a vehicle in, you install something, later on they have a problem with something that you never touched. There may have been an issue with it when it came in, but the customer was unwilling to do anything about it. This allows you to document that condition, so if a customer ever did come back and say, hey, you changed my hand controls and this caused this problem, you can show that this is how they come in, and also if you wanted to, this is how they went out. But it allows you, again, to document the exact condition of that vehicle for that customer and for your own records. So once you've done selecting all of the pictures that you want to take, just select the back button, which takes you right back to the dashboard. There is a button here that allows you to begin a complete job on the tablet. I'm not going to cover that right now. It's mostly just data entry, but we highly recommend you do that on the website. It is much easier to do that on the website than it is on the tablet. Once a vehicle is inspected, you now have the ability to weigh that vehicle. Again, by clicking inside the box, selecting the customer, it will open up the weight screen. At this point, you can put in the weights for the different four-corner scales. Just select inside the box and enter the weight. Select the next box and again enter the weight, and continue for each of the four-corner scales. After the product is installed, you have the capability of coming back now and entering the rest of the weights. This will also take into account number of seating positions, weight of the wheelchair, the fuel capacity, and the gross vehicle weight of the vehicle. We'll enter that when we finish up the installation. Right now I'm going to save this and jump back to the dashboard. So now the vehicle has been weighed and we can begin the installation. This is the main crux of the Docutrack app. We have worked with the manufacturers. We've looked at industry guidelines and again our own risk management system and developed the critical installation points for each of the different types of products. This allows you to document that each of those critical installation points were addressed correctly. In this case, you would just, again, click inside the box, select the customer, and it will open up that job. All of this information will be pulled from the website. If anything is missing, like the type of mobility device or any other information that you need to put in, you can enter it just by clicking inside that box and typing the entry in. You have the ability to edit the customer information. You can also edit the vehicle information. This will pull, the VIN will automatically pull in the year, make, and model. You can type in the type of lowered floor it is. And again, most of this is very little typing. It's touch and click. You just touch the box, select the entry, chassis type, touch the box, select the entry. And that is the same with all of this. You go through here and you can select the tire pressure, tire condition type. You can enter the Nemita label number if it is not already entered or if it is different from the one that is in here. All of that can be entered as you go through. So go through and update the vehicle information. You can also update product information. This will show you what product is going to be installed. If anything needed to be added, you have the capability of adding that on the tablet itself. Again, we highly recommend that is done on the website. And if you are pulling from a CRM, you definitely do not want to be entering product on the tablet. It will not push it back to that job. You want to make sure that's entered on your own internal system, and then pushed over to Docutrack so you have a full record of that, both with your system and with the Docutrack system. But if you did need to add a product on the tablet, all you would do is select the manufacturer. By clicking inside that box, it opens up a list of manufacturers. Select the manufacturer, enter the part number, and you don't need to enter even the entire part number. If you start typing part of that part number and type search, it will bring up a box with all of the part numbers for that manufacturer with those numbers in it. I'll select the appropriate one. I can enter a serial number here if I wanted to. Decide if it's new or used, and then say finished adding product. That product is now added to the list. If for whatever reason you needed to delete a product, by selecting the trash can, it will delete that product. If you need to add a product that is not in Docutrack, or add a manufacturer that is not in Docutrack, it's very simple to do as well. You would choose a manufacturer to begin, and select the manufacturer. If the manufacturer is not listed, you would just select other. So we're going to select Bruno as a manufacturer, and instead of adding the part number, we would select by category. We would then select the Namita category to which that product applies. So in this case, we will say it's an unoccupied lift. The subcategory is a hitch mount lift. We'll then select the part number, or enter the part number by touching on the screen, and we will hit Other. Enter the factory part number, the description, and again, if you want, you could speak it in, serial number if you want to, whether it's new or used, and select Finished Adding Product. So now that new product is entered, and all of the critical installation points and secondary inspection points that apply to an unoccupied hitch mount lift will apply to this product. So you will be able to take the pictures, the appropriate pictures for that particular product. To delete a product, simply click the trash can next to the product, and that product is deleted and off the job. We'll switch customers quickly and review how to assign a serial number. If a manufacturer assigns serial numbers to products, you'll have the opportunity to assign the serial number at the point of installation if it hasn't been sent over already with your CRM or entered on the website. If it has not been entered, you'll see a button here that says Assign Serial. Just select that, click inside the box, enter the serial number, and select Complete. That serial number is assigned to that product. We'll leave this one open to show you where that shows up at the point of installation during the critical installation points. The Weight Analysis tab will take you to the weight screen that we reviewed before. The next button, Capture CIPs, allows you to capture the critical installation points of each installation. The Capture CIP button allows you to capture the critical installation points of each install. By selecting that, it will open up to the critical installation points. This screen shows the customer and vehicle information up on top. It will also list out all of the critical installation points for that install. It provides a summary of what critical installation point is to be captured. It also provides a sample photo of that installation. You can scroll to see additional critical installation points. If there are icons at the top of the screen, these are links to wiring schematics, installation documents, any other documents required for installation. If they're provided for the manufacturer, this link will be here. This technical service bulletin notice comes up if there is a technical service bulletin available for that vehicle. To view, all you need to do is click on the TSB notice. It will then either download the technical service bulletin or take you to the website where that TSB exists. By selecting the back button, it takes you right back to those critical installation points. Everything you need for a proper installation is right there at the technician's fingertips. So let's start capturing the critical installation points. Similar to the vehicle intake, all you need to do is click on that line. It will open up the camera. You can then take the picture of that critical installation point. Select OK if that picture works, and it will store that picture in the system. It turns that line green, also inserts the initials of the technician who took the picture, and puts a check mark in so you know that one is complete. You can then go on to the next one. Click on the line, take the picture. It stores that picture in the system, select OK, turns that line green, and continues on. If when you're looking at this you need to get a better view of that picture, just by clicking on the sample photo, it'll open that picture full size so you can see exactly the shot that you should be taking and what that should look like. By selecting the back button, takes you right back to those CIPs. All of these CIPs need to be completed before you can complete this installation. If you notice down in the corner, this installation complete button is grayed out. Again, it's waiting for all of these to be green and to be completed for all the different products. This will list the products up on top. By selecting inside this box, it will bring up a box that shows you all of the products that are being installed in this particular job. By selecting the product, you're able to jump between jobs. As you recall before, we left one of the serial numbers open. Again, if a serial number was not entered back there, it will ask you if you want to continue without entering one. If you do, select yes, and it'll take you right back to those critical installation points. If you want to enter that, select no. It will then allow you to jump back to that screen, select assign a serial number, just as we did before, enter the serial number, and select complete. That serial number now is entered for that product, and you can jump right back into the critical installation points. Now, if you notice, when we jump back to that product, that pop-up screen is gone. Again, to continue on with the critical installation points, select the critical installation point, take the picture, it stores it, and turns everything green. When all of the photos are done for a particular product, it will ask you to accept those photos. If you do, it will accept them. It then takes you directly to the next product where you can continue taking those pictures. You can jump between products as necessary. Once a product is completed, when you click on the box, you'll notice that whole product line is green. That tells you that one's done, and this is the one that's in salmon that needs to be worked on. Now, we're not going to go through and take all of these pictures right now, but I did want to show you one other thing. Since all of these items need to be photographed, there are situations where you might not be able to take a picture. For instance, with wiring going through a firewall, it needs to be grommeted. If it's not going through the firewall, that does not apply. So in those situations, and in only those, you'll see an NA button. If that situation does not apply, just select NA. It says it's not applicable to that installation, and it completes that line. If you needed to take a picture of it, either click on the camera icon or anywhere on that line, and again, it opens up the camera and allows you to take that picture. In this case, I'm just going to hit the back button to come back. Anytime you need to undo a picture, if you click on something wrong, or maybe you clicked on the NA button when you weren't supposed to, just hit this undo, and it will undo that line and allows you to take another picture. Or again, clicking anywhere on that line allows you to take a picture. It deletes the previous one that's there. At the bottom, you'll see something that says add a new step. This allows you to document special situations or circumstances with that installation that you want to take a picture of. By selecting add new step, it opens up a new box. Click inside the box and you can add whatever text you want. Or again, just like before, you can talk to text. Special circumstance for this installation. Select OK, and now it gives you an opportunity to take a picture of that. Click inside, take the picture. If that picture works, select OK, and it installs that picture into that job. If you ever needed to delete that, you have the capability of deleting it as well. This comes in handy if there is a situation where there's some other product that might be in the vehicle that you're not going to be touching. You can take a picture of it and how it left your shop. And again, just like before, how it came into the shop to show that nothing was done on that. Or any type of special installation that might be worked through with the manufacturer. You have the ability to take the picture of it and explain it down here in this bottom section. Docutrack also allows you to record test drives. So once the installation is complete, select Record Test Drive. You can enter the beginning odometer mileage and the ending odometer mileage and select Complete. It will now store that test drive mileage with the job. Once all of the critical installation points have been completed for all of the different products that are installed in this particular job, notice the installation complete button lights up. Selecting that button now completes that install. Once completed, it takes you right back to the weight analysis page. Selecting the box, we can enter the weights from the 4-corner scales. The system will then perform all of the weight calculations, especially after all the rest of the information has been entered. It will also notify you when a new tire placard is required and let you know the total weight or the remaining weight capacity and net weight capacity. If after entering the product, the vehicle exceeded the weight capacity, it will warn the technician that the vehicle is overweight so they can address that with the service manager. So let's select the back button and jump back into the dashboard. Now that installation is complete and all those critical installation points have been captured. After installation, this allows for the second technician to inspect that work. The new technician would log into the system and select secondary inspections. It'll open up and show only jobs that are ready for inspection. So we'll select our test customer and it pulls the information for that job. Now this will list all of the inspection points that are recommended to go through for each of the different products. Again, just like before, you can select in the box and jump between products as necessary. You can also look at the top, and if there are technical service bulletins out on that product, again, by clicking that, it opens up that technical service bulletin, so it's in the hands of the technician who is doing the inspection. With this, all that needs to be done is to read the line, make sure that's correct, and then select, yes, I've inspected that, and that's good. Turns the line green, adds the initials for the person who did the inspection, and again, there's an undo button if you ever needed to back out of that. By clicking the undo, it just eliminates that inspection point. So as you go through here, you would just click on each to make sure they're correct. Now there's some situations that cannot be photographed, so in those points, like for instance the distance for the pivot tube, if there's additional information needed, it'll open up the box, click inside, either type or speak the information, select complete, and it stores that information with the job. So the technician would continue on inspecting each of those, and assuming they pass, just touch the line and that will turn it green. Once they are all green, you can then jump to the next product by clicking inside the product box. Make sure these are correct, and once all of the inspections are done for all of the different products, this installation complete button lights up. You also have the capability of jumping back into capturing this critical installation points. That can be handy if you look through and find out that one of these is not correct. The pin is not adjusted correctly. It allows you to jump back in, make the adjustment, take the picture, and then jump right back to the secondary inspections. Or this technician can log off, allow the other technician to log in, make the adjustment, take the picture, and then come back at a later time and continue this inspection. With both the critical installation points and the secondary inspection points, you can jump in and out of jobs as necessary, and it stores that information every time it syncs to the server. So again, once that is complete, come down to the bottom, select inspection complete. That job is now completed. That information gets synced to the website, and you're finished with that job with the tablet. So that's a summary of everything that gets performed on the tablet in the shop. For any additional help, this top menu button here next to the dashboard, by clicking on that, it does a couple things. One, it lets you know who the user is that's currently signed into the tablet. So anytime you pick up the tablet, you can make sure that the correct user is signed in. It will automatically sign you out after 15 minutes of inactivity. So it allows you at any time to jump to the dashboard, to go to the help screen, or to log off of the system. By selecting help, it brings you to the help screen, which lets you know what version you're on, but it also lets you know if the tablet is online. If for some reason information is not being downloaded to the tablet, it's a quick way to make sure that you are connected to the internet and able to get online. If there is anything from the tablet that needs to be synced, it will let you know here. You can jump to our support site by selecting self-help, frequently asked questions, and you can perform searches to find the specific item that you're looking for. I'm going to close this out and it takes us right back to the help screen. If a job is recently added to the website and you want to pull that down off the tablet, by selecting Sync Offline Data, This will go through and sync all of the current records on the tablet to make sure you have the most updated information. So anytime you're waiting for something new, it's a good idea to just sync offline data. Anytime you log back onto the system, it will automatically sync to the website. So we'll select here, jump back to the dashboard, and you're ready for the next job. So thank you for your time, and we look forward to working with you with Docutrack.